So this is Steve, and I'm here with Craig Fischer. We're at the Lutheran Sports Health Center. Craig, appreciate your time today. And
no problem.
Let's talk a little bit. You've got an exciting event going on today through the weekend. It actually starts tomorrow, but through the weekend. Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
Sure. Fort Wayne was selected to host the inaugural United States Curling Association Arena Club National Championship. So this is a national championship for clubs that play in an arena setting like we do. There are plenty of dedicated curling clubs where all they do is curl, but the growth in the sport since over the last 8 years has really been in the arena environment, because it's very easy to open up an arena club as compared to building a new facility. So the United States Curling Association has decided that they really wanted to do what they could to encourage the sport, and have created this championship to give people that don't have the opportunity to curl in a dedicated facility the chance to compete against similar, people of similar circumstances, and determine who the national champion is. And so we're running an event here with 19 men's teams and 13 women's teams from throughout the country, as far as San Francisco, South Carolina, plenty of other places. 32 teams total, and we're just excited to be chosen to be the ones to host the first one that they've ever done of this.
And speaking of teams from all around the country, you've got several or a couple that are right here in Fort Wayne.
Actually, we've got 3 teams. A men's team, Team Fountain, which I'm lucky enough to participate in, as well as Team Freeman and Team Lampkins are representing Fort Wayne on the women's side. So we're certainly hopeful that we'll represent well, and at least hopefully come home with some hardware, if not win the whole thing.
And the Fort Wayne Curling Club, we were talking about this just a few minutes ago, was established back in 1885. It had a little bit of a ball there and reestablished in 2010. Talk to me a little bit about that original club.
Sure. When we were starting the club back in 2010, we were doing some research on the internet, and we found some articles back from about 1885 about a Fort Wayne curling club that curled actually on what was then Mirror Lake on the Bass Estate of St. Francis. So they used to curl there, and actually there's some folklore that when the Bass Mansion burned down, it was due to the fact that the caretaker had been curling all day and had fallen asleep and not stoked the boiler properly, and it burned down because he had been curling all day, which maybe isn't a great thing to say about curling, but it's certainly an interesting factoid. And we've got some circumstantial evidence that points to the club still being in existence in the 1920s, with respect to some people whose ancestors, they said, curled in Fort Wayne, around that time. But we established the club reestablished the club back in 2010. We like to think that we had a brief break, but the club's really been in existence for that long, and we think it. We're hopeful to really carry on the tradition of curling in Fort Wayne from back in that time.
It's got to be something. 2010, 2013, you're hosting a national championship. What's it been like?
It's great. It's Stephen, you've been out numerous times when we've had the Fort Wayne Summerspiel, and we've certainly made waves within the curling community for what we've been able to do in a short period of time as compared to a lot of other arena clubs. So we're quite friendly with a number of the arena clubs around here. There's about 6 arena clubs encircling us, and none of them have done this. The Bonspiels of the size we are. Most of them have never done a Bonspiel at all, and we've done 3, and coming up on a 4th with top-level competition, including multiple Olympians. And in fact, this year's Summerspiel in August, we'll have 3 different Olympic teams. Team China will be here. Team Great Britain, represented by Eve Muirhead from Scotland, who is the current reigning women's world champion, as well as all 4 teams that have the possibility of becoming the U.S. Women's Olympic team. So the U.S. Women's Olympic team will be here. We just don't know which of those 4 it will be.
One of the things also that's kind of looming on the horizon is you're looking at getting your own dedicated ice, your own facility.
Yeah, we've been working pretty hard on that. We've been curling here at the Lutheran Health Sports Center for 3 years. Love the facility, love the people, but there are just some aspects of curling in an arena which aren't optimal from a cost perspective, from an ice quality perspective, from an availability of ice time perspective. So we've been looking at establishing a dedicated facility using a model where we take an existing building and put ice technology in there that's much lower than the cost of building a great state-of-the-art facility like this. And we're currently working to finalize the lease negotiations, and we're pretty excited about it. It's the old what we're currently looking at, and granted it could still fall through, but what we're currently looking at is the old Nichols Bakery thrift shop, which is not 50 yards from this facility. And we're pretty excited about it. We've still got some additional fundraising to do, so we're looking for corporate sponsors and others that will contribute, as well as obviously club members who are fronting a lot of the money. But we're optimistic that come January 1st, we'll be there. From our perspective, with the upcoming Olympics, which always provides a big surge in interest around curling, it's important for us to be, if we're going to make the move to dedicated ice, we need to do it in time for the Olympics. Otherwise, if for one reason or another we can't do it, we'll probably wait 4 years till the next Olympics, because it's important to get that big growth that the Olympics brings on. Because the way curling typically works is, you get big growth around the Olympics, and then it tails off a bit. And to come in on a non-Olympic year would be a bit more of a challenge to make the economics work. But we've got an economic model that works. We've got significant contributions from our club members and everything else, and we're pretty excited about it. We had an open house last week. We've had an architect in and ice technician come in, and so far everything's looking good, but still, a few more dollars to raise.
Community support, you were telling me, has just been phenomenal. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, we get lots of support from the community, and no one more so than both this center, the Lutheran Health Sports Center, as well as Visit Fort Wayne, that has sponsored us from day one. They are at our initial meeting contributing to us, and actually the three organizations ourselves, the Lutheran Health Sports Center and Visit Fort Wayne, actually combined to do the bid for this Arena National Championship. So lots of support there, lots of interest from the community. We host numerous corporate events for companies that want to find a fun team building type of activity, so we're always looking for those type of opportunities and do quite a bit of them, 10 or 12 a year. And then also, lots of people coming out to the Learn to Curls that we run once a month. And in fact, our next Learn to Curl is August 10th at 2 o'clock p.m. So if people are interested in giving the sport a try, they can come out at 2 o'clock on August 10th for $10 a person, and we'll teach them how to play the game, and by the end they'll actually be playing a game against other new curlers.
Someone wants to come out and be a spectator for this. What's the hours? What's the availability?
So the tournament starts at 8:30 on Thursday and runs 8:30 in the morning and runs till 11 at night. Same thing on Friday. On Saturday we start at 7:30 and run till about midnight, and then Sunday we run from 9:30. I believe maybe it's 9 o'clock until about 2:30, and the championship match is at noon roughly on Sunday, with a short ceremony, traditional ceremony in advance of that. People can come out, watch. They can come down here into the ice room, get real close to the action, hear everything going on, or they can sit up in the warm room in the Thirsty Penguin overlooking the ice, stay a little bit warmer and still be able to see some great curling. No admission either way. We just love to get people to come out and in the community and witness the sport, and hopefully they'll decide to come out and try it for themselves.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it. Other than the support of around Fort Wayne, they've supported us from the very beginning. I appreciate everything you do, Stephen.
Thank you, Craig. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And good curling.
Thank you. Yes, good curling. All right.